Right, hello again guys, and welcome to a very, very cold night at the Gaskets Head. It's absolutely freezing out there, so I'm so glad I'm in here. So glad I'm in here. But today I'm going to be showing you how to change the rear shock absorbers on the Ford C-Max and Ford Focus from about 2004 to 2011, but it's pretty much similar across like most of the Ford range and similar on most cars, to be honest. So I'm going to have a quick look and show you. So this is the driver's side. This one's actually alright. It's a bit old. I mean, the car's 11 years old now and these are original, but on this one, the bump stop's gone. But there's actually nothing wrong with this shock, but I can't imagine it's going to be far off needing replacing anyway. But I'm going to show you the reason why I'm going to be changing them both anyway. We come around to the other side. And there we go. As you can see, it's leaking oil. Bump stop's gone. The MOT's in, well, not too far off, so I'm just going to get these changed. They are really easy to change, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Okay, so once you've got the car up on axle stands and you've got the wheels off, all I would do is, and it's not an absolute necessity, but is just jack it up, a little block of wood just under the rear arm. The only reason being is once you take the shock off or something undo the bottom bolt, the rear arm with all the weight of the brakes etc on it, it's just going to want to push down a touch, which makes refitting it a bit tricky. So literally just taking it up 5mm, 10mm if that, just to stop it dropping down really. So what we need to do first is we need to just come round the back. Excuse my dodgy camera work there, but that's the bottom bolt, so we're going to get this one off first. So let me get you set up and we'll whiz that one off. Okay, first off, you might have noticed a little puddle of oil on the floor there. That is for a future project and it is not off this car. But anyway, back onto this. Just going to give it a quick little wire brush off. We'll give it a little toot with WD, GT85, whatever you've got. And it is a 15mm. So I'm just going to whiz it off with gunny here. That's it, makes light work of that. So we're going to go up the top now and get the two top ones out and drop it down. Okay, apologies, I can't get the camera up in there while I'm trying to do this because there's just not enough room, but I've put a little pickup for you. It's just two little 10mm bolts. And we just crack them loose. Get that one out first. I'll just try and get a torch in here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. That should be better. Just do the other one. There we go. Should be not far off coming out now. There's one. Just get the other one out. Just before it comes fully loose, just keep hold of it, stop it dropping. You end up losing the bolt and spending 5 minutes looking for it because it's fallen in the back of the rear arm somewhere. Ask me how I know. We're almost there now, come on. There we go, last bolt out. And to get it out, I'll show you. It's just a gap down the back. Literally ping it through there. And it's out. So let's get these on the bench. Let's have a quick look at the new one versus this old one. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the old one now on the bench. I'm not going to show you the other side because that wasn't that bad, to be honest. But as you can see on the one that was bad, I mean, this ridge is actually dirt and oil. It's that bad. So what we need to do is we need to get this taken off because we need the nut and we also need the sleeve, which we're going to clean up. First things first, we're just going to take the strap off this, just compress it a touch, and it'll just come off. And I don't know whether it's a bit of a sort of old wives' tale, but it's one of the old boys used to tell me, when you get a new shock, especially like an oil-filled one, just compress it a couple of times, just to build a bit of pressure up, because when they make them in the factory, they literally fill them with oil, put the piston in, crimp up the seal and whatnot, compress it down, strap it and send it. So I've always done this. Don't know whether it's made a difference or not, but that's what I do. Only a couple of times, build the pressure up in it. Don't really need to put on gas filled ones, but I imagine this is an oil one. So what we're going to do, we're just going to get the nut off the top of this mount because I don't have a new one, and then we'll assemble it all together. Okay, so I've got the old one in the vise. Now obviously don't do this with the new one because you're going to basically mark the piston itself. But this is the old one, so I don't care, it's going in the bin. So I've just locked it in the vise. It's a 13mm nut for the top one. It's not on that tight. I think it's 25 Newton meters. Put the torque to. Just literally get it off there, that's that done. There is a little sort of tab end that you could probably get some vice grips on if you've only got a spanner. But then literally it'll pull off, throw a load of crud everywhere. Get that out of there. And we'll just take the sleeve off. We'll take this little bit out and then we'll clean this up. Right, I've cleaned that up now. I did forget to mention earlier, now you can buy these from Ford completely built up, ready to fit. Don't need to do anything other than literally unbolt the old one, bolt the new one back on. But due to COVID budget cuts, shall we say, I decided to go down the slightly cheaper aftermarket route, but even the genuine ones aren't that expensive built up. So this is the sleeve that we're going to put on. As you can see, there's a little sort of solid plastic sleeve. So we're just going to slide this over, pop that on the shocker. Then on the bottom of the bump stop, you can see there's a little ridge there. So we just pop that over, and then it's literally sort of pops into that. It's locked in now. And then next up, we're just going to put the new top mount on. The old ones are okay, but I mean, there's no point. If you're changing this anyway, you might, for the sake of whatever they were, not much, I can't remember the exact cost, but you might as well do it. So literally just pop that over. And then we're just going to pop the nut on. Just go down by hand as far as we can. And that's that. And then it's just a little 13mm. I've got a little offset spanner here. I'm just going to nip the little tab end up there with some vice grips. Get that on. There we go. And they only really need nipping up because, as I say, they're supposed to be 25 Newton meters, so they're not super tight. There we go. That's as tight as that'll go. So, and then the last thing to do is you're just going to pop this piece of the bump stop into the top mount as far as it'll go. There we go. And that's ready to go on the car. So the only thing I've got left to do is just to wire wheel some of the bolts, and we'll get this back on. Right, I'm just going to give the little top mount bolts a fresh blob of Loctite. Don't need loads on it. And just to help the next guy out, if there is ever such a thing, I'm just going to give the bottom bolt a quick coating in some anti-seize. And this is the aluminium one that seems to get absolutely everywhere if you get it on your hands. There we go. Lovely. Right, let's get them on the car. Right, there we go. I've saved you the boarding of watch me putting it in. It's literally the reversal of removal. You just pull it up through the gap in the back, put it up, and I've just hand tightened the bolts, and they're literally, if you want to torque them up, the 25 Newton meters for the top mount ones. So let's just knit them up. There's one. Let's do the other one. If we ever get there. Again. Right, and that's the top ones in. So now we'll get the lower bolt in, and that's job done. Right, now that the top mount bolts are in, we can put the big one at the bottom, and all I have to do is just literally push it up a touch to get it in line, get the bolt in. There we go, start it by hand. I'll just run it up. There we go, and now we're going to torque it up, and this is to 115 Newton meters, so hopefully you can see this. Nearly there. Bit of an awkward angle with the camera in front of me. Finally. And that is job done. You can drop this jack down now, get the wheels back on and get it back down on the ground. Right, there we go. That's the shock absorbers in now. So next job is just to get the wheels on and get it back down on the ground. The eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that. That was a nice surprise yesterday when I went to pull the handbrake and I heard a bit of a ping. So that's next on the list of jobs to do. But there we go, that's that. It's a pretty easy job, to be honest. You don't really need any special tools at all. Just a 10, 13 and 15 mil sockets or spanners, and you'll be able to do it. So if you like the video, remember to give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and if you didn't like it, thumbs down. And thanks for watching.